Hey FlossTube! My name is Sheldon, and this is Sheldon in Stitches, a YouTube channel about cross stitching, knitting, and books. Today is May 24th. It is 10:45 in the morning, and we have a guest. Chuck, come up. This is Chuck. He is my Corgi Pomeranian. I guess he's not a puppy, he's a dog. He will be 2 in August, but he likes to come in and out of the videos, so we shall see where he goes and what he does. He will also bark at people, but anyway, yeah, so this is May 24th, right, in the morning, and it's FlossTube number 10. So this is my 10th FlossTube, which is, oh, he's laying right on my notes. You're so funny. Yeah, FlossTube number 10, which is crazy, so it's exciting. But anyway, let's get into the stitching. I've had a very good 2 weeks. I've been enjoying my stitching. I mentioned in my last video that I wanted to just kind of more stitch what I feel like stitching and just kind of stitch what I want when I want and not really have any like set plans. And that's what I did, and I've been really enjoying it. I've also been busy with other stuff. I did some gardening in the last 2 weeks. This house that I am in, I bought last year, about the fall, beginning of fall, so I didn't really see what kind of garden situation there was when I moved in. But I found out there are 3 hostas out front. There's going to be peonies, I believe, and woodland sage, which I just learned yesterday that that's what's going to be growing in the front, so I'm excited to see what that would look like. I think peonies are the ones, like the big ones, right? I'll have to make sure I double check, but yeah, so that's really exciting. And I also bought a raspberry plant for the backyard. My favorite food is raspberries, so I will be planting that in the backyard, and hopefully it'll spread everywhere and I'll have tons of raspberries. But no, that's been good. So I've been gardening. I have gone out for supper quite a bit. We tried some new restaurants. Yeah, just been enjoying the spring and the nice weather and stitching quite a bit. So I think that's all really that's new with me with life. So we'll start into the stitching. So first we will talk about haul. I don't tend to have much haul, although my last video I had tons of haul. So I'm hoping in the future kind of to rein it in and not have any, if like very minimal haul. So that was going really well until I saw the new collaboration with Modern Folk Embroidery and Evertote and Roxy Floss. So I bought it. If you haven't seen it, I will show and talk about it, but I was trying to resist, but I just didn't. I couldn't, so I got it. So I purchased their quintessential Frisian smalls. So if you're not familiar with what this is, you can go onto the Evertote website or Modern Folk Embroidery and see it. Basically, the idea is it's a sal, which I love a good sal, but we are going to be stitching and finishing 5 smalls. So there'll be one, I think August is first, right? So August, September, October, November. We'll be skipping December because that's countdown box month. And the last one will be in January. So I don't remember the exact order, but I know the first one is this pillow. So I'm very excited. Only small that I have is the one that the Stitching Owl gave me, which is right there. And then is that a small? I don't know if that's considered a small, but I have that one too. So, and I've never finished anything small before, like into like a pillow or like a scissor fob or any kind of these type of things, and a biscornu, which I'm very excited to do. So that'll be starting in August. So the first one is the pillow. I only purchased the PDF. I didn't get the full kit, even though I really wanted to, but I got a lot of stash from Stitch North, plus I had a lot of stash, not a lot, but I have enough stash that I can work from it. So my plan is, for the first pillow, I'm going to be stitching it on this fabric, which is, what is this? This is a dark rose 32 count, and I'm going to use ecru to stitch it. So I'm thinking this should be, it's not that big a piece of fabric, but it should be more than enough, right, for that little pillow. and then I'm going to stitch it in white. And hopefully finish it as a pillow. So very excited with my choice for that one. If there's enough fabric, I might also do the scissor fob with this as well. But I definitely want the more white and red, or white and another color for the other three. But for those ones, I'm thinking I'm going to do that. I have never stitched any kind of small like this before, like I said, so I'll be showing it on this channel, and you'll be able to see my struggles and my hopefully triumphs. So I'm very excited for doing that. And it doesn't look like it's tons of stitching, so I should be able to keep up with it and all of that. So that is the plan. And with the purchase of the pattern, you also get access to Jacob's going to be doing some videos showing how to do all of it. So I'm wishing that will make me be able to do it as well. So I'm very excited. We'll see if I'm able to do it or if I give up and fail horribly. I don't think so. But so yeah, that's all. That is all my haul that I got, and I don't plan to get anything else. But hopefully that stays. So that's all the haul. So we'll go into whips next. So for whips, like I mentioned, I've been stitching basically what I want when I want. So I've been working on quite a few projects. Last weekend in Manitoba, Canada, which is where I am, it was a long weekend. I believe it was Victoria Day. It was the Monday holiday. So my friend Adam and I decided to have another 24 hours of cross stitch. So we watched some movies, did some stitching, ate some good food, just kind of relaxed. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's basically just stitching a lot. So you can do it however you want. I don't know if many people actually do 24 hours straight anymore of cross stitch, but yeah. So my version of it is we generally pick some categories for some movie prompts. We each pick a movie for the prompt. We put them into a wheel. We spin the wheel and we watch a movie, and then we pick a project to stitch on it while we watch the movie. So I think we had 4 or 5 prompts. One of the prompts is just pick a movie. So you can pick any movie that you want. But the other prompts that we had was a movie that we own, a movie about survival, a remake, a movie that won at least 5 Oscars. Yeah, so those are the categories that we had. And so we spun the wheel and we watched some movies. So the first movie, actually before I get into that, last time we did this, my plan was to stitch a different project for each movie. So I would work on tons of my whips, get a little progress in each of them. But I ended up only working on one whip for all the movies. Luckily, I was feeling changing projects this time. So I worked on, I think, 5 or 6 projects. So I have 5 or 6 whips to show. So we'll get into it. So the first movie that we watched was a movie that we just got to pick. So Adam picked Saving Mr. Banks, which is an amazing movie. I haven't seen it. Highly recommended. But I decided to work on my No Time Like the Present by Modern Folk Embroidery. So this was the stitch along for 2024, I believe. I'm not very far, but so we'll put in a picture of what that looks like when it is finished. And this is how far I got. So yeah, that's my progress. So I was able to put in, let's see, I have a board. We'll see if I'm able to do it with the board. But so I was able to put in the more green up here, and I brought down so I could see where the different sections are, and then I put in a bunch of pink over there. So I did. So I worked on that one. Let's get a closer look at it. It's not tons, not really far along, but I love the colors for this. I am using DMC 315 and 469. So I love it. I love the colorway. It's so much fun. It's so different. I think it is anyway. So yeah, that's how far I got. So that was for that movie. So we'll put that over there. The next one, we got a category movie that we own. So we watched Life as a House, and I stitched on Summer Garden at Cranberry Manor. So if you watched my last video, you knew that I had to do some frogging. So I frogged out basically my whole border. So I had all of this border in, but it was off. So I frogged it all out, and then during the movie I stitched it all back in. So it's going to look exactly the same as last time that I showed it, but maybe I'll put in the picture of my frogging being complete, and then I'll show you where I got to. So this is where I'm at. So I put in all of the border back in. So very happy that it's done. I missed a stitch, I think right there. It was only 4 instead of 5, so it was off. But now I put it back in, and I measured and I counted, and this is all matched up, so it's good now. So I can continue to work on it. This is my Sal with Michael from Texas. We started it at Stitch North. I am stitching it on 32 count London Fog, and with the Roxy Floss Co conversion. So that is where I am at. It isn't very big, so I should be able to finish it before next Stitch North. Of course, Michael is already finished, which I'll show put a picture of his finish in. Yeah, he's more of a monogamous stitcher than I am, so he finished it, which congratulations. But I need to get moving on it, so hopefully next time I will get some more progress. I'm hoping to put in some more of that, the pink and the dark red in the border next time. So yeah, that's that one. Okay, next we watched a movie about survival. So we watched Gravity, and I stitched on my temperature tree. So this generally is the project that I stitch in the mornings, but recently I've been stitching what I want when I want. So I've been stitching a different project in the morning, which I will show. But so I decided this needs to get some progress still. So during the movie Gravity, I've stitched on this project. This is Temperature Tree by Stitchin Mummy, and it's a birth sampler for a friend's kid. This is how far I got. So I finished the 4th branch. So all the leaves are finished in the 4th branch. So made some good progress. Oh, that's that one. He's a little sleepy. Are you a little sleepy? Yeah. Okay. And then next we watched a remake. We watched The Amazing Spider-Man, and I worked on My Extraordinary Bird Sal, which I'll show at the end. That is the project that I have been focusing on, that I've been really enjoying stitching, so I'll show that at the end. But I worked on it for that movie. And then the next movie was a movie that won at least 5 Oscars, and we watched Titanic. So for the movie of Titanic, I worked on my Heaven and Earth Designs, Feral to Anger by Leonid Afremov. So this is my full coverage. I try to get 50 stitches a day on it. I fell a bit behind when I was gone to Stitch North, but I caught up, and now I'm a bit behind again because I've been focusing on other projects. Ooh, it's okay. There's nobody there. Yes, been focusing on other projects, so it hasn't been getting it every day, but I think I'm only like 3 days behind, so it's not that much. But yeah, so that's what I worked on for Titanic, and this is how far I got. So generally what I've been doing is I've been working on the one page, but I will start in the 10 by 10 and I will work across and finish it on the page and then come back down and keep doing that. So, but I was thinking, I want to see the end of the page. So I've been working down, and the end of the page is like right about there. So I only have this much left before I'm finished it, so I'm getting close. I think there's only 2 10x10s. Or no, there's 3. There's 3 including the little bit still in this one, but and there's 2 more, and then it's done. So maybe next video, maybe not, we will have a finished page. But so that's where I'm at with that one. Luckily there wasn't as much confetti further down. So it was nice, a bit of a block stitching there, and then the black was a bit of block stitching. So that was nice. But Titanic is a bit of a long movie, so I got some good time in Titanic. Ooh, are you looking at my page? So that's that one. And then after Titanic, we watched another movie that we own, and we watched The Birdcage, which I worked on Extraordinary Bird Cage, the birds. But again, I'll show that at the end. And then the next we watched a remake. So we watched Beauty and the Beast, the live action. And I worked on my Modern Folk Embroidery Fruits of Plenty-Sal. So this one is a project that I was hoping to finish this year. I'm still going to try, but I'm definitely not as far along as I was hoping to be by this point in the year. I'm stitching in June, right? January, February, March, April, May, June, July. I'm stitching in the July section, which is right here. So that for this movie, I worked on this project. This is how far I got. So I got a good amount. I got a good amount. So I finished all of the darker color in this motif, and then I put another line there, and then I worked a bit more on the border. So got a little bit more into it. We're already near the end of May, so I should be done this page by now, but I'm not. And I have a lot more stitching that I also want to do, so I'm thinking this might not be finished this year, but we'll still try. We'll still aim to put a strand in every now and again. So that's that one. And then the last movie that we watched was another movie about survival, and we watched Ready Player One. And I worked on my Extraordinary Bird Sal. So this is the newest release, which was released yesterday, May 23rd. So if you don't want to see it, just look away. But if you do, here it is. So this is what it'll look like up to the newest release, which is Feet 2. This is a Sal put on by Lola Crow. And every week a new section will be released. There's a few weeks that there's a break, which will be nice so I can get a little bit more caught up. I'm not caught up, but I've just been really enjoying stitching on it. Like what I've been doing is I've been working at it. So I've been picking a color with not many stitches, finishing that color, which was fun, finishing a color. And then I've been going to a color that there's lots of color and working a few strands with that. And then going with the color with a few stitches and finishing that color and then going back and forth. So it's been a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying this project right now. So this has pretty much been my focus for the past 2 weeks. I've made some pretty good progress, and I will show it to you now. So this is what it looks like. So there it is. So I've been stitching all over. Maybe I'll do a bit of a close-up. I'm still missing obviously some stitches in the top and on the sides, but that's where I've gotten to. Oops, excuse me. That's where I've gotten to. Yeah, like I said, I've been really enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun to stitch. So I will continue to work on it and not catch up, but just put more stitches in. I had to frog a bit on it. I think I frogged a bit of these when I was doing the teal down there. They didn't look that great, so I had to frog it out and put it back in, but it wasn't that much frogging, not compared to my other project that I had to frog on. But yeah, so that's that one. And that's all my projects. So we stitched on those for the long weekend, the 3 days, and we just off and on we were stitching. That's when we also did some gardening, and yeah, just a really, really good, relaxing weekend. I was happy that I finally touched No Time Like the Present, because it is the project that I had picked for Battle of the Whips. So this is what I've been doing, I think since March I started it. And basically it's just a way for me to touch all of my projects. So I finally got some stitches into No Time Like the Present. So I will put this up in my stories on Instagram and see which one gets voted for and moves on to the next round. And I have to pick another project. So what I have been doing is I've been picking a project from the bowl and just picking one out and working on it, which I might still do, or I might just pick one of my older whips that I've been wanting to work on and work on that one. So I'm not sure if I'm going to make it random still, if I just start to pick more of my, I'm going to still work on all my projects, but it might not be as random because I've been wanting to just stitch what I want to stitch. So we'll see. I might stitch a few that I want to stitch, then go back to random, but I don't know. It's fun, right? It's supposed to be fun and keep me invested or keep me wanting to do it. So, but yeah, so that has been all of the whips that I've been working on. So now we will go into plans. So we'll talk about plans. So for my plans, I'm going to, like I said, continue to work on what I want. I'm going to continue to do 50 stitches a day on Farewell to Anger. Those might be more combined into days instead of working on it every day, but I want to keep working on that one. I'm going to keep working on my Modern Folk Embroidery Sal and my Extraordinary Bird Sal. So those are the two that I think I'm going to try to focus on. And then, of course, the Temperature in the Morning, I want to keep working on as well. But that's a lot. That's a lot of whips to continuously work on every day. So we'll see. We'll see what I get to and what I don't. But that's what I would like to keep working on. And I have a new start planned. So I was talking with Jason from Jason X Stitches, and we were talking about my Stitch North experience and how it was fun, and like he was saying that he sounds like it's a lot of fun, and he ended up booking, so he's gonna be there next year, which is super exciting. And then we just kind of kept talking about stitching, and like we mentioned like a round robin, which I have wanted to do a round robin from like for years. I've been wanting to do one, and I haven't had anyone to do one with. So he and I were planning it out. And then we got Andrew, the runner stitcher, and Tyler, Will It Stitch, to join us. So there will be the four of us doing a round robin, which I'm so excited about. I'm so excited. Like, it's going to be so much fun. So you'll have to go check out their FlossTubes to see what project they decide to work on. But I have finally settled on mine, and I still need to pick fabric and technically the floss. But I have decided to pick a project that I have in stash. Like I mentioned, I'm trying not to buy. I'm trying to use what I have. So I've had this project in my stash for quite a while, and that's what I've decided to use. So I'm going to be doing the Tea Berry Tile by Ink Circles. This is a black and white photo, so it's not, you can't see the colors, but the colors are basically like green, a maroony red color, and like a light kind of white color, but I will be picking a bit of different colors for it. So my plan is that each of us will stitch this tile in a quadrant. So there'll be like four quadrants. So I will stitch the top left. Whoever gets it next can stitch the top right, and then bottom left and bottom right. So that's my plan for my round robin piece. I'm so excited. And then I was thinking, if each of them want, they can customize the teacup in the middle. So they could change it to a mug if they prefer drinking out of mugs, or they can make it into a coffee cup, or I don't know, they could put basically whatever they want in the middle of it, and just to kind of personalize it, right? So then I'll have four quadrants with personalized centers, or if they want to stitch what's there, they can. It's up to them. They can decide what they want to do. And then for the colors, I'm going to pull again from my Roxy Floss collection, which I have quite a bit of it from my Advent boxes. So I'm going to pull some greens. Where's that one? I'm going to pull some of the greens out, and then I will pull out like a dark red for the berry, and then like a lighter pink for like the highlight in the berry. And my plan is to pull out, I'm hoping at least six greens, so that we can stitch the leaves in one green and the vines in the other. And then when it goes on to somebody else, they can pick a different combination of two greens to stitch it, so that each quadrant will be slightly different greens, but they'll still tie in together because they'll still be using greens from the other ones, I think. Does that make sense? I think that's my plan. And then the red will be the same in all of them for the berries, and like the teacup can be whatever they want in the center. So that is my plan. Very, very excited about it. I'm hoping to start it tomorrow once I pick my fabric out and the floss. And then after that, I will send it off to whoever gets it first, and then someone will send me their project. So we've been talking about what everyone's going to pick. So you'll have, like I said, you'll have to go see their videos to see what their project is, because they're really good. They're doing a lot of fun planning, and yeah. So that's that. It's a very, very chill round robin. So there's not really a deadline, and you can pick whatever project that you want. It doesn't have to be a mandala, which I know that's generally what's picked for these. But yeah, it's fun. It's so much fun. So that is that. Hopefully we'll start in that tomorrow, and then I can show it. I'm not gonna have it finished because but we never know. But anyway, yeah. So that's the plan for that. Yeah, I think that's all that I have for stitching. I'm going to keep stitching and enjoying stitching and just having fun. I've really enjoyed the past 2 weeks of just kind of stitching what I want to stitch, and not having to stitch something and having to stitch something else and get those 50 stitches in first. Like, it's just a little bit more fluid, and then just enjoying cross stitching as a hobby. So I think that's all that I want to talk about. I haven't gotten to the comments yet on my last video. I tend to take a little time, so that's just how I don't have time always to do that, but I do appreciate them, and I appreciate all the advice. I'll mention that people have been mentioning that I mentioned, a lot of mentions, sorry, that I can sew fabric on to these since they're such short and small borders, and that'll help get it into Q-snaps, which I haven't done yet because it makes me a little nervous. I don't know why, it just does, but it's really good advice. I'm probably, hopefully, gonna do it at some point, or my mom will do it at some point for me. But so yeah, thank you for the advice. I really appreciate it. I was something else I was gonna say, but I can't remember what it was. But anyway, yeah. So I think I'll call it there for the stitching. If you want to hear me talk about books, I have some books to talk about, but not tons. But if you're leaving, thank you so much for coming back, for coming for the first time and watching. And I will see you in my next video if you decide to come back. And if you want to talk about books with me, we'll talk about books. So I finished a book, and I started the book that I said I was going to start. So not tons to talk about, but I finished Funny Story. Funny Story? Yes. Funny Story by Emily Henry. And I mentioned previously that I did not care for Book Lovers by Emily Henry, but I really enjoyed Funny Story. I found the plot and the story a lot better than Book Lovers. It was just a more interesting and captivating plot. If you're looking for like a light, funny, kind of romantic, like a romantic book. Romantic, is that the right word? I think so. Romance, that's what it is. But it's a good book. It was a good, like, just, yeah, good book. I don't know if I've mentioned before, but I read everything. So I will read romantasy books. I will read fantasy. I will read science fiction. I read fiction. I read biographies, autobiographies. Basically anything and everything I will read. I enjoy everything. I enjoy reading everything. I used to only read fiction. I just that was a long time ago. But then I started to branch out by doing book challenges and just talking to people and seeing other people reading different books, and that has made me read everything. So I will read everything and anything. So if you have any recommendations, you can still leave them in the comments. I will definitely add them to my list. I got tons already, but keep them coming. I like I mentioned before, I do a book challenge every year. So I read 30 books that my friends and I choose prompts for. And then I try to read other books as well to get to a certain amount. So this year I'm trying to read 40 books. And I have reached 20. So I'm halfway through, and it's middle of May, end of May. So that's pretty good for me. Like stitching, I'm not a super fast reader, so I tend to read a little slower. But anyway, so yeah. So I finished that book, and I started My Friends by Frederick Backman, who I am a huge fan of. I'm a little over a quarter of the way through. I'm loving it. It's very, very good. I'm enjoying his writing style because I love his writing style. And I'm enjoying the chapters are shorter, which is nice. It helps me get through it a little quicker, right? Because you can sit down, read a chapter quickly, and then go to something else and sit down and read another chapter. Like it's a good way to get through a book quickly. Not saying I don't like longer chapters, but I am enjoying the smaller chapters to get through it. What can I say without giving anything away so far? His writing style is it's good. I enjoy how he'll give you just a little taste of something, and like kind of like a shock, and then you have to keep reading to figure out to understand it. Like it's a very interesting and different writing style, and I really, really enjoy it. So yeah, I'll continue to read this, and then once I finish it, I will pick another book of my huge stack of books to read. Yeah, really enjoying it. So I think that's it. I think that's all I've got to talk about. I will continue stitching, and I will come back in 2 weeks and show you what I got done. And I hope everyone has a chance to do some stitching, get some reading in, and I will talk to you next time. So thanks for coming. See you guys. Bye. I'll mention that people have been mentioning that I mentioned a lot of mentions, sorry.